In this section, we'll introduce impact evaluations, including why a program evaluation might be necessary, what materials should be covered, and who should be included in the evaluation. First, we should distinguish between the different types of studies that might be included in monitoring an evaluation. The type of data collected as part of an impact evaluation might be superficially similar to a needs assessment survey or to monitoring, but there are a few important differences. A needs assessment survey measures the characteristics of a target population to identify potential beneficiaries and to allow you to choose which types of activities are best. This is, of course, done before any program is implemented. While both monitoring and impact evaluations involve looking at the outcomes of a program, the purpose of doing so is quite different. Monitoring efforts seek to assess intermediate outcomes. For example, ensuring that the goods and services that are supposed to reach clients are actually reaching clients, and that the project timeline is being followed. Monitoring involves collecting information from project staff, beneficiaries, and other stakeholders while the program is still in progress. And, in the majority of cases, this will not require information from community members who are not directly involved with the project. Impact evaluations, the subject of this section, differ in a couple of respects. The goal of an impact evaluation is to measure the ultimate effect of a program. For example, whether it reduces poverty or improves health, in order to determine whether the program works, why it works, or whether a program is appropriate for scaling up. In contrast to monitoring, an impact evaluation requires the collection of information from the participants as well as from non-participants, and will ideally be conducted before, after, and possibly during the course of the program. So, why are impact evaluations necessary? First of all, evaluations can be useful in improving the quality of services that your organization is able to deliver to clients. And, as you have limited funds, an evaluation can help to determine which programs are most cost-effective. If no one conducted program evaluations, NGOs and development agencies would not have any way of determining best practices. Finally, the most pragmatic reason is that donors often require some kind of evaluation, and it may be a requirement of a grant. Even if you implement a program that follows established best practices, that's no guarantee that it will work among a given population, at a given time, in a given country. And a program evaluation can help you decide which program is best for a specific group of clients. Regarding what to evaluate, it makes sense to concentrate on components of the program that will likely be used in the future, or to choose between two or more programs based on which is more cost-effective in achieving similar goals. Who to include in an evaluation? The most common mistake in evaluating programs is failing to collect data from non-clients. A good program evaluation has a treatment group, which is made up of the clients, and a control group, which is made up of people similar to clients, but who do not take part in the program. Ideally, you should compare these two groups both before and after the program has taken place. A true control group requires that you randomize who gets services. As this is often not feasible, you should look for a group of people as similar as possible to clients who receive services. In doing so, you need to be extremely cautious, as there are usually unobserved characteristics that influence who participates in a program, especially when participation is open to all and only some people willingly choose to participate. This makes it hard to tell which effects are due to the program and which are due to the differences that exist independently in clients and non-clients. Another common mistake is to simply compare the outcomes of participants before and after a program. Here, we'll look at why this doesn't give us an accurate picture of what's really going on. Assume that the vertical axis represents some outcome we're interested in, like income, for example. We measure this once before the individuals participate in the program, then again after they've completed the program. We then look at the difference, and the outcome is higher after the program, so we conclude that the program worked. But we would be wrong to do so. What we're doing here is assuming that if the program had not been implemented, that there would not have been any change in the outcome. Imagine that the dotted line in this graph represents what would have happened in an alternative universe where the program was not implemented. By just comparing the outcome before and after the program, we're assuming that there would otherwise have been no change. If this assumption were valid, we could say that the effect of the program is a difference between outcomes. But the outcome could have changed for a variety of reasons, and it's not reasonable to make this assumption. With no control, we have no idea what might have happened if we hadn't run the program. It's possible that the outcome variable would have increased or decreased on its own. If this were the case, our estimate of the program's effect would be very wrong. The point here is that we shouldn't make such assumptions. Another common mistake in evaluating the effect of programs is to simply look at the outcomes of treated individuals, which just means those people who got the program, and to compare their outcomes to untreated individuals or those who did not get the program. For example, I have seen evaluations that look at differences between clients and their next-door neighbors. This is a very flawed approach. Since the clients have been deemed eligible for receiving services and were willing to participate in the program, any differences that you find between clients and their neighbors could be due to differences that exist between them independently of any effects that the program may have. As we see here, if you just looked at the difference in outcomes after the program, it would look as if the treated individuals were made worse. However, in this diagram, the program appears to have had no effect whatsoever. Treated individuals are worse off before the program, they improve during the course of the program, but at the same rate as those who were not in the program. In order to properly evaluate the program, we'll need a bit more sophisticated approach. The best such approach is to randomly determine who gets services and who does not. We start with treated and control individuals who have the same outcome on average before the program. Then, if they are randomly selected into treatment and control groups, the difference between the two groups after the program should be due to the program itself. Notice that the outcome for the control group has changed as well. We can assume that this change would occur in the treatment group too if the program had not been implemented. However, the difference in outcomes between the two groups can be attributed to the program itself.